comfortable to be there.
So do you feel you have a body in this place?
Oh yes, I do.
So take a look down at your feet and describe what you're seeing.
My feet are petite and beautiful. My legs are long and lean, and I am very light.
Do you feel male or female?
I am female.
Mm-hmm. And you feel young or old?
I feel very young. Not like a child, but healthy and young.
So as you look at yourself, describe yourself to me. What color is your hair?
My hair is light, a lighter color, and I am very happily running through the forest, skipping and jumping, and so happy to be in nature.
What are you wearing on your body?
I am wearing some very loose, flowing, natural fabrics.
So you said you see a path?
Yes, I am on a path.
You're on the path. Do you have a sense where the path leads you?
It leads to many places along the forest. There are these sort of houses built into the ground.
What do you mean into the ground?
Like they have been dug out, and there is stone and earth around the stone, and small hearth for a fire coming out of the ground.
So how much of the house is underground and how much is above ground?
Well, it depends on the earth in that location, but most of them are very small, and they are above ground but in ground at the same time. They are built and the ground grows around it so that it is nice and warm and cool at the same time.
And how many of these homes do you see there?
They are spread out all along the path.
Does one of them appear to be where you live?
Yes, I think I am going home.
Well, let's see where you live.
Yes.
And describe your house from the outside.
It is so perfect because people come and go and animals come and go, not into the house, but everything just lives in union with one another. It is a round doorway, and inside is a very comfortable place to live where there is a table to eat on with everybody and some comfortable places to lay down and rest.
Is there anyone with you in the house?
Yes, there are people in the house.
Who's there with you?
My partner and child.
So you would say you're a young woman?
Yes, I am a young woman.
Okay. And who is your partner? As you look at him, describe him to me.
He is Dwayne,
Mm.
He has white, shiny hair and really nice muscles, and he is always smiling.
Then you have a daughter, you said?
We have a small child, and I think it is a daughter. The children all seem to have beautiful flowing hair, so it is not super clear, but child is young, maybe 3 years old.
Hmm. So what do you call this child?
Zoe.
Zoe. Okay. And is she the only child that you have with Dwayne? Dwayne is the father?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She is the only child that I see at this time.
Okay.
Dwayne is very active with her, and he likes to pick her up and carry her around.
Mm.
They have much fun together.
So the inside of your home, how large is it? Does it have several rooms, or is it one big room?
It is not very big. It feels like there are not any doors inside.
Hmm.
It feels like almost a U shape, which creates the bedroom, but there is really no door. It is one big space.
Is there a door to the outside, or is everything
Yes.
just... Yes, there is.
Yes, it feels like a door, but it is open a lot.
Hmm. What else catches your attention in this home?
There is a small window where things rest after they are made, like our food.
And why do you leave the food there? Is there a special purpose to that?
I don't think this is a very big place, and it is like a shelf almost. A place for things to be before they are served.
And so what food do you see there?
It feels like stews and pie. Fresh, cozy, warm food.
Comfort food.
Yes.
But do you spend a lot of time inside, or would you say you spend more time outside the home?
We spend a lot of time outside of the home, but we come together often inside.
And how do you spend your days?
We spend our time outside looking after the people and speaking to one another with so much love and respect.
So when you say looking after the people, what does that mean?
We are a community, so we all look after each other. Whether we are spending time together, loving each other, or tending to things that need to be done, it is not a place where we are doing so much, we are being a lot more.
Does everyone in this community have their own special talents and gifts that they contribute?
Yes, everybody is very good at their own thing, and people find it very easy to do what makes them happy.
So what is your specialty?
My specialty is singing and dancing and putting my hands on people to make them feel good.
And how do you use your singing and dancing to contribute?
People come to lie down to listen to my voice, and Dwayne plays many instruments and also sings along with me.
Is that healing for them?
It is very healing and uplifting.
And how does that help heal people? In what way?
It brings in different types of resonance into their bodies, which helps them to maintain a very light feeling in their body.
Is it important what type of song that you do?
No, we just sing and make music. It is something that just comes out of us naturally.
So would you say you're channeling it?
I would say we were most definitely channeling it. And there is beautiful mosses where everybody lies down on. That is so comfortable and healing to the body.
So what is special about this place where you're living? Why did you choose this place?
It feels like the place where we can all heal and be our happier selves. It feels like the most beautiful place to be.
And who makes the decisions for the community?
Everybody chooses to work together. It is very harmonious.
And how did this community come to be when it first started?
We were all just drawn here, and it was easy to get things up and going. We were delivered here almost as if we just landed in the right place.
So was it just synchronicity that brought everyone together?
I think it was all just planned. It seemed to be very perfect who came with us.
So on a soul level, everyone just knew that they were to be there together?
Yes.
And you have many different ages?
Yes, there are all kinds of people, even older people, but even they are very healthy. Healthy, old, and wise.
And do you have a sense of where this community is in terms of, is it on Earth? Is it in another place?
It feels like a brand new place because there is no cement or technologies. We are free to just be together.
And what is your relationship to nature around you? What is that like?
It is completely natural and enjoyable. And when you are tired, you take rest. And when you are awake, you are productive, but not overworked. It is very free-flowing. It is a nice place to be.
Is there anything like money in this place?
No, there is no money here.
So how does that work? How do you get the goods and services that you need?
Everything is provided for us in the land, and we are very simple people. We do not need all kinds of things.
So, for instance, your clothing. How do you get your clothing?
There is places there where things like that are provided, and people that love to sew, and everything seems to come from the same place. It is almost like we don't question. It is there for us to use, and people are creating beautiful things for us.
So would you sometimes trade if you had something that you wanted from someone else? Would you trade with them or barter with them?
I don't think bartering is necessary. I think everything is provided for everyone, and it is not excessive. You have maybe 2 sets of clothes that you interchange when you need to, but it is not that we need many things. We just have what we need.
Mm. And is this a very large community?
It goes on and on for a very long time.
Mm. So would you say there are hundreds, thousands of people living there?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat that?
Would you say there are hundreds of people living in this community or thousands of people?
I would say 100 or so
Mm-hmm.
in this community.
Okay. And is everybody, from what you described, you look human?
Oh, yes.
Is everybody in this village human? Or are there others?
Yes.
Okay.
We are all very much human.
Are there any other visitors that come that aren't human?
Yes, somehow there is connection to Star Family. It seems pretty normal.
So they come to visit from time to time?
Yes.
Now, what is your interaction with them?
Oh, it seems to be very, very beautiful when they come to see us. They bring us things and upgrade our bodies so that we are healthy and strong.
And how did they do that?
They put us into these healing chambers that open up for us to climb in, and they heal us and make us very strong and very wise.
Can you describe exactly what these healing chambers look like?
They are oblong and round and very simple, but what happens inside once we are closed inside is quite miraculous, actually. It is almost like we are upgraded with light and sound.
So these healing chambers are almost like a capsule shaped?
Yes.
Are they see-through?
No, they are white.
They are white. What are they made of, do you think?
They are made of a very interesting and sturdy fabric, like in between glass and plastic, but very comfortable on the inside for everybody, but they are like pods.
So do you get in and lie down?
Yes.
And from there, is there anything you have to do?
Oh no, we just relax.
And so then the machine reads your energy to know what you need help with? Or?
It just does the work for us.
And how does it feel when you're inside these pods?
warm and gentle and comfortable, and it feels wonderful.
Do you go into these pods on a regular basis? Once a week, once a month, or is it just whenever you feel the need?
They just show up when it's our turn. So I can't say for sure what time is, but...
So you don't necessarily know in advance?
No, but they come and we enjoy it.
And how long do you feel you stay in these pods while they work? Is it a short period of time or a longer period of time?
Yes, they are short periods of time, and nobody is waiting. You just know when it is your turn.
Okay. And as you come out, how do you feel different usually?
We feel invigorated and very lively, and our bodies feel light and happy.
And is this something that you'll need to continue to do ongoing, or will you reach a point where you won't need to use the healing chambers anymore?
I think it is a short period of time that these will be used, because they can only work on us so long. And when we are complete, I don't think we will need them anymore, but they will continue to communicate with us.
So in terms of being complete, does this mean when you're fully in the fifth dimension?
I think once we are completely healed, we are already in the 5D.
Okay.
But it is almost like our bodies need more integration time and healing because of so many lifetimes of hurt and pain and trauma. It needs a specific amount of work done until we feel we are healed enough.
Do these healing chambers work on all levels, physically, mentally, and emotionally?
Yes, on all levels.
Okay, that's pretty miraculous.
Yes.
Okay, and can you describe what these star beings that are visiting you, what they look like?
They are big and tall, and they are shining. They are very crystalline. But we seem to know who they are and understand them fully.
So everyone in the village is part of the star family?
Yes, they are our soul group.
Do you happen to know if they have a name or what they call themselves?
They are part of the Pleiades and a mixture of the Arcturian Council. It seems there has been quite a combining of these energies to create a beautiful living structure called our bodies that have come together in a combined force in this star family or star group.
And these beings that come to visit you, are they actually an aspect of you?
They are our family from other places.
Okay. And in what other ways besides using these healing pods, how else do they assist you?
They upgrade our intelligence system and help us to create a life of harmony.
And how do they do that?
By guiding us and showing us the way to be loving to all beings. It is a very beautiful place to be. There is a lot of greenery and flowers and beauty, and it is a very simple and happy way to live.
Mm-hmm. So really these visitors are leading by example.
Yes, they lead us by example, but we seem to already know.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a wonderful life.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you can tell me about your way of life?
Yes, it is so beautiful. I love it there. There's beautiful waters and waterfalls, and all kinds of beautiful sea creatures that seem to swim with us, and we all live together. It's quite amazing.
So you're really in harmony with everything.
Yes, everything is functioning together.
Mm.
And we are not afraid to play with them or touch them or speak with them.
And they're not afraid of you either?
No,
That's lovely.
it's really quite beautiful. It's not what we can even conceptualize now. It is so harmonious.
So is everyone in the community part of a family unit?
We are part of a star unit
Mm-hmm.
or soul grouping. We are not brothers and sisters, but we are brothers and sisters. We are not related, but we are related through where we came from originally.
So tell me about the children in the community.
Yes.
Are they different from what you might think of as human? Have they changed?
They are far more trusting and beautiful. They are able to shine their brightest lights. For it is not within anyone's grasp to be angry or upset or unhappy, for they are all able to just be their wonderful, glowing selves.
Would you say they have gifts far and beyond what we might think of as an average human child?
They are star children, and they are not confined. We do not confine them. There are many groupings where a few of them live together, where there are also older beings that live together that help to guide them to learning what they are here to do.
Do all the children have parents?
They are not necessarily with their own, but they are all taken care of beautifully.
Mm-hmm. So coming together as a community, what sort of things do you do together?
We dance and sing and play music and build things and make art. And we are very active in our communities, outside and swimming. It is a very free way to be.
And what sort of energy do you have? Maybe aside from electricity or things like that. Is there a special type of technology that allows for the use of free energy, for instance?
Oh yes, there is free energy, and there is a lot of travel to and from different sectors I would say one can just up and go to another soul group at any time, for there is harmony in everywhere we go and travel to.
So you do have communication with other communities.
Yes, we do.
And they're different soul groups, different star families?
Yes.
Okay, so for what reason would you get together with them?
It is really worthwhile to trust in your own abilities, because it seems that it is your abilities and belief in one's own powerful self that can put you on the move or keep you where you are. It depends on what you feel you need to accomplish at this time.
Well, what would be the benefit of venturing out and meeting these other star families and
To
soul groups?
share experiences and to expand in learning more. Sometimes you would like to learn and teach, and sometimes you would like to just build in the community that you are in.
And how do you find these other groups are different from your group?
Everybody seems to take on different aspects of the planet. There are different types of land and areas, and some people like to be where it's colder or where it is warmer, or where there are different creatures to experience. Some people like to always be on the move, and some people are happy just to stay where they are.
Mm-hmm. And how would you travel to visit these other groups?
It is pretty instant. You can just put yourself there with your thoughts. It is almost an aspect of flying. It is really interesting. Like we put ourselves on these discs, and the disc takes us where we would like to go.
What size are these discs? Do you sit on them? Do you stand on them?
You stand on them, and it is very instant where we go to.
So you just program it with your thoughts of where you want to go?
Yes.
Hmm.
It just takes us there. You think about a place that you would like to visit, and you will go.
And they're readily available whenever you need them?
Oh yes. There are people that come and go all the time.
Hmm. So what makes your village community different, perhaps, than the one closest to you?
I'm sorry, but I didn't hear that question.
What makes the community you live in different from, let's say, your next closest neighbor community? You say there's special things about each.
Well, we are
community.
with the people that we have in our lives now that are part of our soul group. And it is always expanding by people that would like to be in our resonance. If your resonance changes, you can move to other communities, or you can build on the resonance that you are with now. It is really about vibration and resonance and what makes you happy at that time. And every soul group is a little bit different based on resonance. Some people really like to be around the scientific types of people that are inventing and creating new things and new ways of being. And other people like to just live simply, where we happily grow food together and we sing and dance together. And other communities are very involved in activities and action and sport, and they all differ based on what really resonates with you as a being.
So you really can move around as you like and
Yes.
discover all kinds of ways of living.
Yes, there are always places for you to stay. You are never without a home.
So you just go somewhere and you're offered a place to stay.
Yes, it's very beautiful and welcoming.
Very beautiful. Well, do you remember what led up? You say you're in the 5th dimension now.
Yes.
Would you call this the New Earth?
Oh yes, I would call this the New Earth.
Do you remember the events leading up to entering the New Earth?
Yes, it was quite a shocking experience. It was something that came in and we went out with it, seemingly being pulled from where we were into where we would be.
So what were you doing the moment this all happened?
I was sitting outside enjoying my day, and it was like something took over my body and took me into a new way of being. It was perhaps at the time a little quick and scary, but the more I surrendered into it, the more I just seemed to float to where I was going.
Do you feel that's the key, is that you surrendered to it?
Yes, it is literally a letting go of everything you know to be so. And there we were, pulled together into our new place.
Did you have a sense that this was about to happen before it happened?
Yes, everything seemed to be uneasy.
What do you mean by that?
There was a sense in the air that everything was changing. The weather was very strange. It was very dark. And all of a sudden it became very light and I felt droplets in the air, and I could smell the earth was so pure and fresh, and it was so beautiful. I didn't feel like there was anything to worry about.
So when you say it became very dark, did something happen with the sun or the earth?
Yes, it felt like I was pulled into not knowing where I was or where I was going to, but it felt safe, so it was best not to panic, but to just allow for things to happen. And I was okay with this.
And what did it feel like physically to your body as this happened?
It felt like a squishing and molding and squeezing of my body. But it felt like exactly what it was supposed to happen. And there were my friends.
And did you all arrive in the same space?
Yes, we all seemed to come in within moments of each other. And it was a welcoming and loving and knowing and hugging, and it was like a placement of sorts with all the people that I have interconnected with at this time, in this last time period.
Were there people that you feel didn't go through this experience?
I was only surrounded by soul family, much loving groups of people. There didn't seem to be anybody else around us at the time.
So it was quite a comforting experience then for you.
Oh yes, there was.
Mm-hmm.
A
And what
lot
about
of beautiful people that I knew.
what about family pets, for instance? Did they go along, or what happens with them?
Yes, they came with us too. They were all a part of the movement or shift.
Mm.
We all shifted together. But it seemed that we all went individually to where we were going. We were all plucked from where we were, and we all seemed to find our place.
And when you say you were squeezed and taken,
Yes.
what did you go through, or how did you enter this new earth?
It felt like we were being squeezed between dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a water slide. And it wasn't something that was forced, but it was questionable how much time this took. It felt like we just had to let go. And when we arrived, it was gentle. And there was a slowing down to arrive at our destination, which was this beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful place. There wasn't anything that we were used to. It was more like you could choose the place where you sleep or stay. You could be high up or low down, but we were very much surrounded by nature. It was comfortable temperature, not too hot, not too cold.
So the weather is pretty much the same all the time?
Yes, here it is. It's very mild, and there is light and there is dark. It is almost like the more we open our hearts, the more things start to show themselves to us and blossom and grow.
Now, when you arrived in this place, were the buildings already there?
Many of the buildings were already there, and as our loving heart space came in, things grew and blossomed all around us. It was like the whole place awakened as we awakened to our new earth.
Mm.
It was bright and beautiful, and so much greenery and beauty and water. Wow, we could go to the water's edge and just stay near the water for as long as we wanted.
And in terms of your senses, your sight and your hearing, were they any different than the old earth?
They are much more amplified. Everything seemed to be amplified. Not uncomfortable, but it was like many parts of us were healed so that our bodies could operate more fine-tuned.
And do you notice that there are animals and birds, for instance, that you didn't see on the old earth?
Yes.
Describe some of those to me.
What would you like me to describe?
Maybe a bird that we don't have here on Earth that you saw there.
Oh, everything is so beautiful. The colors are magnificent. And their songs are incredible. They are very colorful and pretty. And they are no longer afraid of us. They happily come down to greet us and sing to us and sit on our hands.
You said when you came to the new Earth, some of the buildings were already there. Who put those there? Who created them?
We created them before we came.
So were you going back and forth between worlds and preparing a place for yourself?
It seems we were, through putting our energies into the ground, into what we wanted to create. There are times in our lower consciousness that we would start to branch out and create these beautiful structures with our minds.
So going back to the old Earth and what that was like before this shift happened, you mentioned the weather. The weather patterns were very kind of different and crazy. What else did you notice before this shift happened?
I noticed that people were waking up and shedding all of their old belief systems and patternings that were making them unwell and unrested. And people were starting to remember how they wanted to live instead.
And what about things like politics and government?
All of that is to crumble. All of that is to crumble because we do not need this when we live in love.
Did it crumble before the shift?
It is all a part of the shift. It will crumble and crumble and crumble, and the shift will come. The crumbling is already beginning, and people are starting to be removed from the planet. Things will be exposed that will send people into an unknowing, and many people will perish because they do not believe. And other people will wake up very quickly because they decide they would like to stay in a harmonious way of living. It is all a personal choice.
So what percentage of the population do you feel will totally make this shift?
I am seeing something around 38% will choose to come to the new earth and re-inhabit the earth the way the earth would like to be lived in.
To all those that make the shift, do they create the new earth as they envision it themselves?
Yes, yes, with the help from others. As we help to awaken humanity, we will start to begin to show them what is possible and what we want to create. If you want to live in the mountains, you can. If you want to live near the water, you can. If you want to live in the trees and in the forest, you can. But everything very well stems from nature, because everybody has likes and dislikes, and they must choose, and they can choose again. There is no set way. Nothing is set in stone. Some people are just more comfortable near water, and some people like to live among higher ground.
Do all communities have a star family that's looking out for them?
Oh yes, they are all taken care of by many interdimensional beings. And They are visited by many types of beings as well. There is no limit, but the beings that overlook the earth are all very high dimensional beings. Like the Amitabh and the Elohim and many star families from Venus and Mars, and ones that want to help and assist humanity in living in a harmonious environment finally.
When can we expect this shift to occur?
I would say 2019 or 2020 will be complete. You must live in your highest and best way now and set the stage for the type of life that you would like to live.
And what would you suggest as preparation to get ready for this shift? What's the best way we can do that?
Well, there needs to be some attention on focusing your mind on the creation of what really drives you, what excites you, and what would be a beautiful place for you to be in. Many children and young adults will just follow their parents to where they are going without doing this, but because they are connected and light beings, they will just simply be taken there without really understanding, but because they have enough levels of light to join, they will join. And others that are light but do not have light parents, they will come along with us, and everyone will be taken care of. Everyone, nobody will be left behind that has chosen to want to come.
What about, are any children going to be making the shift without their parents?
Oh, many will make the shift without their families, many. But their beautiful star families will help guide them to their communities of star family and soul families that welcome them.
So we will just take them in and care for them as our own?
Yes, of course, they are our own. Why would we not?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there anything else that we can do to prepare?
We must take time to prepare what we would like to live with. Do you want to live in the forest with the bunny rabbits and the deer? Do you want to live near the oceans, near the seals and the dolphins and the whales? What type of structures do you want to live in? Where do you want to be? What do you want to live with? What kinds of people do you like to be surrounded by? Are they people that you already know from your star family, or are they people you have already met on this earth? You must get very clear about what and who and where you want to be.
So setting an intention is very important.
Yes, start getting excited about the new earth. Start creating the type of life you want to live and how simple you would like it to be. Do you live in communities where you all cook together, or will the food be prepared for you? You need to look at what drives you as a human and how you would like to function in your new reality.
Many people are being guided to relocate. Why is that happening now?
Because you are meant to be somewhere else when the shift occurs.
Why is that?
It is about your placement, and it is about you coming to grips with the 3D reality that you are living in and where you want to be when you do take off from there. Some people need to make a shift before the great shift because it is something that you feel you need to do in this environment.
So if you're more in resonance with where you're living before the shift, will it make the shift easier?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't worry about money. Don't worry about things. Just get yourself to where you want to be, where your vibration will be high enough to get to the state where you would like to be.
And how is it we're preparing our communities ahead of time? How does that work?
Really get into a dreamy, feely state about that and really dream it in. It is something that will come naturally to you when you start making time for it.
Okay, perfect. So can I ask some other questions now?
Yes, sure.
Wonderful. What is the purpose of crystals on the new earth? How are they going to serve us?
Crystals will serve us in ways of communication, telecommunication, moving to and fro from other areas. They will help us to find clarity and help us with movement. They are also there to help us to communicate between different tribes, and they are there to help us to evolve and become lighter and more crystalline.
Can you discuss Andara crystals and their importance?
Andara crystals,
Mm-hmm.
they are very, very powerful, and for those who have them, they will receive more and they will be sharing them with others. They will help us to communicate with different beings, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So would it be an important thing to have an Andara crystal and connect with it
Yes.
prior to the shift then?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.